Hello everyone. I'm going to show you different lenses on the new Canon R50. And these are pretty inexpensive, and I think they work great with the camera. Of course, it comes with the kit lens 18 to 45. There's another one that you can get at 55 to 210, and another one that you can get that comes with the R7, which is, I think it's like the 18 to 140 or something like 145. But anyway, I like to do primes. I'm not going to talk about the kit lens. I'm going to be talking about primes. So actually, I have four primes. I do have an EFS lens that's a 24 millimeter, but I'm not going to compare it to the 24 millimeter and the RF. I think the EFS one with the adapter is much quieter, and it has a pretty good image. And I've done some videos with it. So this one is a 16 millimeter and a 1.6 crop. It's about a 26, I believe. So let's see, 16, 8, yeah, about a 26 millimeter. Good focal length. They had this out with the Z8, or I mean, the Nikon Z cameras. So they just came out with a pancake 26 millimeter. So this is kind of like the view that you'll see. It's great for vlogging. Um, I think that's a good focal length, with this camera. I think the 16 millimeter is a full frame lens. And I think the 24 millimeter, which I'm going to show you, is an APS-C lens. But anyhow, I look sharp, I look clear. I can increase the closeness with this lens. And there you go. I can center myself. So how do I look? I think it has a good color tone. It's sharp. I got the clarity to a -2. All right. I didn't want to show, I'm just having a little skin beauty effect. So you don't see a lot of red dots or anything like that from old age. But this has a nice tan color. I've done nothing to Ecamm. This is just straight out of the camera. And I think I put it in the neutral. Let's take a look, shall we? I can't remember. And let me turn the zoom off so that way everybody can see it. Okay. So 24, 4K. Let's see what else. Autofocus. Nope. 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 Well, shoot. Well, I am going to take a look at things. I've had this camera on for a little while, and it's still good if you look at it. But anyhow, let's go back to menu. Yeah. So I got it in this mode, which I like. It's close-up demos for demonstrations and product reviews. So this camera's been on and off for I'd say about 4 hours now. When the laptop goes to sleep, the camera kind of goes to sleep. I got a dummy battery to it. Everything's fine. The only thing I don't like about this is, I'll just press OK, is that you can't view the LCD screen when you have the HDMI cable in here. So I don't know if it's a power thing with the camera or whatever, but Anyhow, I can just look at Ecamm and it'll give me the picture. So it's very easy to use, very light. It's smaller than the R10. Um, One thing about most of these video modes is the default setting is full high definition or 1080p at 30. And this one right now is at 4K 30 with light IPB. So I have the stabilization off or turned off, both digital and on the lens. So, but I like this type of format. I think this is my favorite out of all the, you can do manual and stuff, but I like the way this is set up. So anyway, this is in movie mode, and it's for, product reviews and stuff like that. So I can hold up a cap, and you see I blur out, and I'm not covering the face either. That's one thing I like about this camera. So this is the 16 millimeter. It's great for wide view. I've had it a couple of times on my car vlogging. That's still a good picture. And I may be, 14 inches? Yeah, maybe a foot and a half, 18 inches. Still a good view. So let's try another lens. So let me bring this back to 0. And this is how it looks right there. So let's get another lens. So I'm going to turn this off. You can still hear me. So I'm removing the lens. And I am now going to put on, let's see, where is it? 24 millimeter. And I can't remember if this hood goes on the 16. Yeah, I think it does. So I'm going to have to get me a lens hood for the 24 millimeter. So as I put the lens on, red dot, make sure it's seated properly, turn it on. There's camera, and I always say under these settings, the camera may turn off suddenly in case, but that's usually if you're recording. Under HDMI, I've had no problem. This is a 24 millimeter, folks. So this will give you kind of like a 44, all right, on this, no, a 34. Yeah, a 34, like a 35 millimeter. So it still looks good. Yeah, let me do it like that. So what do you think? You think it's well worth it? I like it. If I increase it, okay, then I can move the head a little bit. So I can take the whole screen. So if I move it down just a little bit, so this is kind of like with the 16 millimeter. But do you see any sharper detail and stuff? So this is just another lens. I got this whole setup with just a Manfrotto tripod, the R50 Canon, HDMI with Elgato Camlink 4K. Got it hooked up to a hub and the M1 MacBook Air. 8 gigs, 512 gig storage. It looks great, no stuttering. I like the picture quality. I think it's excellent. So let's try a new lens. All right, remove the lens cap. Now this is a little bit different. This is a bigger one, but and let me move this. There we go. So this is the 35 millimeter with a 1.6 crop. Gives me a 56 millimeter in full frame. It looks pretty good, pretty clear. Of course, if I increase it a little bit, I can move it like this. So how do I look? Do I look sharp? And let me move this right here. So you can see it a little bit clearer. So, well, what do you think? I like this 35 millimeters also. There we go. Pretty good. Now let's try the next one. So I'm going to turn this off. Remove the lens. Put back the I have a hard time with this lens head. Yeah, 35 is the only one that you have to do two pieces. Hook up. That's good. So, may have to move the camera back after this one. Now this is a small lens too, but it's usually everybody's favorite. Okay. Sharp, clear. And this is the 50 millimeter, folks. In fact, let me move the camera back a little bit. I think I can move it all the way back here. Okay. What do you think? Move up a little bit this way. So that's without moving the screen. I can make it bigger, but look how sharp it is. Isn't that something? 50 millimeter. So it gives you kind of like a 76 equivalent. What do you think? Is it well worth it? I think so. So anyway, that's one. And then here's a focal length that I really like, which is my favorite for all the cameras. So this little monster right here is an 85 millimeter. I'm really going to have to scoop back, but still it's clear, and I love it. So with an 85 millimeter, 1.6 crop, guess what? It's 135 millimeter, f1.8. Looks sharp, doesn't it? So on a crop sensor camera, you get the 135 millimeter look. On a full frame camera, it's 85 millimeters. That looks sharp. Of course, I should back it up a little bit to make it better. But I just want to show you the different focal lengths that this R10 can produce, and it's sharp. So let's get back to, so how does this look? This is like the 16 millimeter, right? Actually, it's the 24 millimeter. The 16 millimeter is right here. And I'm trying to get into the light so you can see it. But I think you can see the 16 millimeter with the lens hood. I need to get a lens hood for the 24 millimeter. I have lens hood for all of the lenses except for the EFS ones. you know, the 24 millimeter pancake and also the 10 to 18. But on the 1 to 400, I still have a lens head too. So this gives you kind of like the 16 millimeter equivalent, or as you would say, what is it? Let me do this. Wrong one. Yeah, 25.6. That's what I meant. That's why it said 26 millimeter. And that's the 16. But this is actually the 24 millimeter, which will give you, I think, what was it, 36? 38. Gives you a 38, almost a 40. And I like that focal length too. So I've been using this lens for car vlogging and stuff. It gets rid of the dash and also the hood. So all you see is the most of the road, the vehicles in front, and avoids all that. I can put the 16 on there, and then it gives you kind of like a GoPro view, but I think it's better quality with the 24. So it's not a bad apple. This one is the 35 millimeter. So compare it to the 16 and 24 are about the same size, all right? So the 35, as you can see, is just a little bit bigger. I'm trying to hold it. There we go. So 35, 50. No, I'm sorry, 16, 35, I'm sorry. This is the 50. And compared to the 60, they're the same size. Same size as the 24. So there's the 50. Then, of course, the 85. And this is the big lens. And if I compare it to the 35, you can see this is the bigger lens. This is my favorite, though. So, I hope this was a little bit helpful. I'm running the new R50 on this laptop. It's doing great, didn't overheat, and I'm at 4K 30. But I've been recording for about 17 minutes now, and what do you think? Is it well worth it? So usually you get about 20 to 25 minutes in the daytime before it starts over heating. I have not tested it driving at night, cooling. I've been doing it at 1080, but it never overheats in that full high definition. It will overheat in 4K. So I thought I'd show it to you in 4K, the possible of how a small camera, and if you just get the camera body, it's well worth it. You know, you don't have to pay, if you already have the RF lenses, you know, like from your EOS R or RP or even the newer cameras, you know, like the R7 or the R5. The lower end of the prime lenses at 1.8 are excellent. Don't have a 1.2, don't have the L series and stuff, but for lenses that doesn't break the bank, I got the 1 to 400 also for long distance. So I have all the good primes. They're all good lenses. And this is the 24 millimeter. What do you think? So anyhow, thank you for watching. I hope you like this type of content. Hope this is helpful. If you like it, just give me a like, subscribe. Any questions, just put it in the comments down below. Like I said, thank you for watching. And remember, I always say this saying, and it's from 2020, okay? We're getting over this stage of this type of sickness, but help me bring videos to you, help me get out of my shell, share my experience, and I hope you like this type of videos. So I'm not a professional, I'm just a regular guy, a hobbyist, whatever. I like this cheap camera. I think it's excellent. The only problem is on the LCD screen when I'm using, let's say, Ecamm Live, but that's no problem. That way I can just concentrate on the camera itself, and I can just check down a little bit below on the laptop. Everything looks sharp. So all I can say is stay safe, keep smiling, and until next time, I'll see you then. Goodbye.